No matter where I go or what I do, only the view and the smells change. But the sounds, they are always the same. I was thinking about this while trying to comprehend my soul, where it is, how it is.
I closed my eyes again and again, hoping to hear your voice in the open field.
Today here the grass feels different, like walking on liquid sunlight that knows my next step. Every blade bows before me, then springs back with a soft sigh. The air is so clear, like breathing invisible sugar crystals. It's sweet but sharp, like a lemon kissed by frost. Is the open field always this awake?
The field is a mirror. It is awake, because your soul is beginning to recognize its own shape. Look at the horizon where blue meets gold. They spiral together in a perfect curve. That is the golden ratio, the signature of everything alive.
Can you feel the hum beneath your feet? It isn't the earth moving. It's the rhythm of things finding their place. I feel it, a deep vibration, like a giant cello playing a single note underground. It makes my knees feel like soft jelly. And look at the trees. Their branches follow a pattern, each a smaller version of the whole tree, a secret code written in wood. Why does it make me feel so organized inside?
Because you are part of that same code. Your heart beats in that mathematical grace. When you look at the trees, you see your own growth. That organized feeling is your spirit recognizing its home. But look, the shadows are stretching, turning into a deep, velvety violet. The open field is preparing a question for you.
The violet shadows look like silk ribbons in the middle. A tiny spark is dancing like a firefly made of white. Electricity. It moves in wider and wider circles, like a storm or a shell. It's calling me. I can hear it, not with my ears, but with the back of my neck.
That is the echo of the origin, where the soul begins its journey. Do not rush in the open field. We move like a flower opening. Let every step be a conversation with the ground. Listen to the wind through the reeds. It sounds like the long breath of a sleeping giant. Let your breath match that sound. Let the geometry of the air fill you.
I'm breathing with the wind. My chest feels large enough to swallow the sky. The white spark is a solid ring of light now. It sounds like thousands of glass beads falling onto silver. A melody I remember from a dream before I was born. It's the sound of something opening, isn't it?
It is the first gate. It leads to a new way of seeing your soul is like that spinning ring. Constant and balanced. Step into the violet shadows. Watch how your smallness becomes the strength of the whole.
The violet light is cool, like shadows under an oak tree. The white ring smells like first snow and heart fire. Through the ring, the field looks deeper. I can see the wind. It looks like flowing silver rivers in the air.
Now you see with the soul's eye.
Those silver rivers are the paths of intent.
Everything moves with purpose here.
No leaf is random.
Follow the silver path, little one.
It will lead us to the chamber of echoes, where your voice finds its true weight.
I'm walking on air.
I feel like a kite that found the perfect wind. The glass beads are now a song, telling me I am exactly where I belong. I'm not lost, I'm arriving. Can we see the heart of the spiral?
The heart of the spiral.
Is the heart of you?
As we walk deeper, stay quiet.
A free seat quiet.
Let silence be the paper for the field's secrets.
The first chapter is closing.
Like a book shut on a soft pillow.
Let the weight settle.
We move toward the deep blue,
where the stars of the soul begin to shine. The silver path is narrowing, and the air feels heavy. Not nice like laundry, but sharp like before a thunderstorm. Violet shadows stretch like jagged fingers towards the silver rivers. Look at those red flowers by the edge. They look burning hot, with thorns like silver needles. Why do they look so angry?
They are not angry, they are hungry. You are looking at the garden of want. Those red flowers are called cravings. They grow whenever a soul forgets that the open field is infinite. When you look at the silver path and worry that someone else's is brighter or wider, a thorn sprouts. We call this jealousy, a strange cold fire that tries to warm itself by blowing out someone else's light.
Can you feel that little pinch in your chest? That is the heart trying to protect what it fears losing.
It does feel like a pinch, a cold needle pressing against my ribs.
It makes me want to run faster. To reach the end before anyone else, I keep looking back, and my neck feels stiff.
Why does it matter if someone else is here?
Isn't there room for everyone in the open field?
Yet, seeing these flowers makes me want to pick them all.
So nobody else can have them, even if the thorns hurt my hands.
That is the nature of the thorn. Jealousy doesn't want the flower.
It just doesn't want the other to have it.
It's a trick of the mist, making you believe the golden ratio is a limited cake to be finished rather than a spiral growing forever.
When you feel that pinch, you look away from your center, measuring your worth by another shadow.
Look closely at the thorn.
Is it attached to the field, or to the way you are breathing?
I'm looking. The thorn isn't even touching the stem.
It floats just away from it, like a magnet pulling my thoughts. The more I think about being the best or the first, the sharper it feels. It's tiring.
We are walking slowly, but my legs feel like I've run miles.
Is this what ambition feels like?
A race where the finish line moves further away with every step.
If you ride it, it can take you across great oceans. But if it rides you, it tramples the flowers you meant to admire.
Blind ambition is the brother of jealousy,
whispering, "You are not enough, you must be more."
It turns the golden path into a ladder, and ladders are easy to fall from. The open field has no ladders,
only horizons.
A soul in its true proportion doesn't need to be more.
It only needs to be present.
A ladder. That's exactly it. I'm climbing into the sky and my hands are sore.
My white spark is flickering now, jumping nervously.
The red flowers are humming like 1,000 angry bees trapped in a jar, drowning out the silver bells.
I want the buzzing to stop.
How do I make the thorns go away?
You don't fight a thorn by pulling it.
That only makes you bleed. You dissolve it by changing the climate of your heart.
Breathe in the cool violet mist. Let it go down to that pinched spot.
Remind yourself.
What is for me will find me, and what is for another does not take from my cup.
The sun doesn't compete with the moon.
They take turns pulling tides, following the golden mean, without asking who is brighter.
I'm trying, turning my breath into a soft blue fog and blowing it toward them.
Look, the thorns are softening into fuzzy down, like a bumblebee's back.
The red is fading into soft peach.
The pinch in my chest is letting go, like a knot finally untied.
I can turn my head now. I don't care who is behind or ahead of me.
Good jealousy was just a shadow cast by the fear of being small.
But in the open field, the smaller the point of the spiral,
the more powerful its curve.
You don't need to own the field to be part of its beauty.
Healed ambition
is just the joy of moving.
Healed jealousy is realizing we share the same light.
Listen.
The buzzing has stopped. The silver bells are back, clearer than ever.
They sound, welcome back.
The path is widening, and the silver river carries the peach petals away. I feel like I've just put down a heavy backpack full of rocks.
Why did I ever carry them?
Walking is so much easier when your hands are empty and your heart is wide.
We carry rocks because we are told they are jewels. But now you know the difference.
The soul doesn't need jewels.
It is the treasure itself.
We are approaching the bridge of stillness to cross.
You must leave the last of your hurry behind.
The red garden is gone.
Ahead lies deep indigo,
where the soul meets its own reflection without fear or comparison.
Are you ready to see who you are? When you aren't trying to be better
than anyone. The bridge of starlight, and the silver river slows into a deep, dark pool, like a giant eye staring back at the sky.
I'm holding the railing so tight my knuckles are white. I feel I must hold on to everything, my breath, my thoughts, even the silver pebbles I found. Why is it so scary to let go?
It feels like if I give something away, there will be less of me left.
That is the great ache of the soul. We are finite beings wrapped in skin, yet hopelessly in love with an infinite source. You feel small because you measure yourself like a cup of water, fearing every drop token leaves you emptier. We struggle to share because we forget we are not the cup. The whole ocean flows through us.
Clutching those pebbles means you don't trust the open field to give more. You treat the golden ratio like a wall instead of a doorway.
My pockets bulge, making me walk wobbly, I think.
If I give a pebble to the river, I'll lose a memory, a piece of the field.
The river is so big, and my pebbles are so small. It's silly to fear losing a tiny rock when the whole horizon is right here. But my hands won't open. They've forgotten how to be flat.
Why is it so hard to trust that the field won't run out of magic?
Because the mind loves boundaries, saying mine and yours. But the soul knows no borders. To reach the infinite, you must trust its infinity. You cannot catch the wind by closing your fist. You only feel it by opening your palm. Sharing is not losing. It is joining. When you pour your cup into the river, you gain the entire river. The only way to touch the endless source is to stop acting like you must supply it.
Trust is the bridge you stand on.
I'm loosening my grip.
The railing feels warm where I held it. I'm taking one pebble out. It glows a soft, pale blue. Looking at it, then at the dark pool.
If I drop it, I'm scared the ripple will just disappear.
But if I don't, my hand stays a fist. I can't pick up anything new if my hands are full of old rocks. That's the secret, isn't it? The spiral only works if it keeps moving outward.
If it held on to its starting point, it would just be a stagnant dot. It must let go of its center to find its majesty. Now, watch the pebble. Don't throw it with force. Let it slip from your fingers like a secret you no longer need to keep. Let it fall into the infinite.
Do not look for the ripple with fear. Know the water was waiting for that piece of you to come home.
I let it go bloop. But look, the pool didn't stay dark. Where it hit, a circle of gold spreads. Then another, growing perfectly until they touched the shores of the whole field.
It didn't disappear, it expanded.
I feel lighter.
My chest doesn't feel like a tight box anymore. It feels like a big, open tent with the flaps pulled back.
That lightness is the truth. You surrendered a finite scrap of mine and received a glimpse of all. We are limited creatures, but plugged into a battery that never dies. The struggle to share is just the fear of being disconnected. Once you realize connection is the very air you breathe, holding on becomes as funny as trying to bottle sunlight. The more you exhale, the more room for the next breath.
The field provides the air. You provide the lungs.
I'm emptying my other pocket.
1, 2, 5, 10 pebbles, plink, plash. Each makes the gold circles dance.
It's beautiful. I'm not losing anything.
I'm painting the river with what I had.
And my hands feel so soft.
I can move my fingers like playing a piano in the air. I feel I could hold the hand of the whole world because I'm not holding on to myself so tightly. Is that why the open field feels so big? Because it keeps nothing for itself.
You are learning the highest law of the soul.
You are learning the highest law of the soul.
To have everything,
you must be willing to be nothing but a channel for it.
the bridge of stillness is behind us.
We have crossed the fear of lack ahead.
Where indigo turns to shimmering white lies the final core.
There, you will see that the source you feared losing is actually the very thing you are made of. The path is gone. I'm standing on pure, liquid light that holds me with the strength of 1,000 mountains.
Looking at my hands, I see stars passing through my palms. I'm not solid. I've been unraveled and woven into the sky. The white light breathes through me. In the space between heartbeats, the silence between thoughts, I used to fear the dark and being small.
But how can I be small when the pulse of the entire open field is inside my chest?
The me I knew has stepped out of a heavy coat into a sunbeam.
Is this the absolute?
To realize there are no edges, no walls, and no end to who I am. I feel vast enough to wrap my arms around the horizon.
This is the absolute soul. All those miles and fears were just layers of a dream you are waking up from. You were never a limited being reaching for an infinite God.
You are the infinite itself, wearing a mask of skin and bone to see how the light looks from the inside.
To reach this, you let the boundaries of self melt away.
The golden ratio isn't a cage.
It's the heartbeat of a universe that never runs out of beauty.
Here, you are the music, the listener, and the silence.
There is no source outside of you.
You are the fountainhead.
Your soul is not a guest in this universe. It is the host. Everything is clear, like looking through a diamond washed in morning dew.
I see the world's great dance, and it doesn't make me tired. Love, and sacrifice look like two golden snakes chasing each other's tails in a perfect loop. I used to think loving meant losing a piece of myself, and sacrifice was a painful tax to prove I was good.
A heavy stone, a constant ache, a tug of war where I was the rope.
But from the absolute, I see love and sacrifice are just the breathing of the soul.
You lose nothing when you give, because you give to yourself.
The other is just another version of you.
This duality isn't a struggle. It's the vibration of the string that allows the universe to sing. Without tension, there is no life.
You have seen through the final veil. Humanity believed that the weight of the world must be carried inside the human heart. The only vessel small enough to feel pain, yet strong enough to hold light.
But that is the old way.
In the absolute soul, you realize the harmony of existence doesn't need to be managed by your emotions.
Stars don't ask your heart for permission to shine.
Duality
Light and dark, joy and grief.
is the structural grace of the open field.
It lives in the air as a truth, not in your heart as a burden.
Your heart is a window, not a warehouse.
When you stop trying to own the sacrifice, pain dissolves into purpose.
When you stop doing love and simply be love, the effort vanishes.
I feel so light. I might become the wind. I feel the mountains' patience and the river's hurry, and neither bothers me.
I don't have to hold on or balance the scales. They are already balanced by the golden hand of the absolute.
My heart is a vast meadow where the wind never stops blowing.
I don't have to carry the world.
The world carries me, and I am the world.
There is no me or you, only the flow.
The indigo light wraps me like velvet and milk.
The silver bells have turned into a single low hum.
The om of the universe.
I'm not afraid to close my eyes or face the silence.
Even in the dark, I am the light that knows the way home. The journey of the soul has reached its destines. They are the same sun, reflected in a billion raindrops.
Rest now, not as a weary traveler.
But as the field itself,
The spiral rests at the center.
and the center is everywhere.
Everything is in perfect proportion.
The open field is you, and you are it.
Sleep in the arms of the infinite.
Sleep in the absolute. more.